right, Monday Night Raw starts off with John Cena. He finally made his appearance. This is his first appearance since turning heel, and he ends up saying that it's been 25 years and he's been a victim of an abusive relationship with the fans. And he constantly said that the fans constantly bullied him and abused him for 25 years to be his puppet to do what they wanted him to do with a smile. And he basically says the fans have never appreciated him and that he constantly got booed, constantly brings up the relationship he had with the fans, constantly not wanting him to win, not wanting him to be in the main event, how they got sick and tired of him, but now they eventually love him for whatever reason due to him retiring. This was great. This was a great promo. I love what John Cena did here. I love that he also didn't change his theme music or attire. He actually ended up mentioning it in his promo, ends up saying that basically the fans don't deserve new theme music. The fans don't deserve him to change up anything because he doesn't need to change anything. This was great. I love what they did here. This was amazing. He's still justifying himself as John Cena. He still says that he's still the same person, but he just feels like the fans deserve don't deserve him. Basically, he feels justified in his heel ways, which I actually think he kind of has a point here. And this was a great promo overall. But then you end up getting Cody Rhodes. He comes out. He basically ends up saying that the fans treated Cena the way they treated him due to him being the top guy and due to him being able to take on the burden of the fans treating him the way he did. And then he basically ends up saying that at WrestleMania he wants to face John Cena and not the guy that he is today, because if he does, then he's going to put an end to his career. This was overall a really great segment. I really enjoy what they did here. I like that they didn't overdo it, especially when Cody Rhodes come out. I'm like, we do not need a Cody, because John Cena's promo overall was already like a good 10 to 15 minutes. We didn't need another 10 to 15 minutes of a back and forth. I feel like that should wait until later. So I enjoy what they did here. This was overall great. I'm not even going to try to spend too much time because I'm just going to keep repeating myself. But this was overall a great segment. I was suspicious of how this could play out, but I also knew that it is John Cena after all. I feel like John Cena can do basically anything and make it work. So this was overall great. This only made me more excited for his heel run. I can't wait to see how this plays out. Curious to see if The Rock is going to have more involvement due to him being a part of the heel turn with John Cena. So I'm curious to see, is he going to have any type of involvement later down the road, or is it just going to be just between Cody and Cena? But overall, this was overall a really great segment. After this, we end up getting Ludwig versus Penta, no holds barred match. Now, originally, I really wasn't going to mention this match. The only reason why I'm mentioning this match is because this is mainly the blow-off match, and it looks like Penta is going to be going after the IC title, which ended up happening in the main event. So that's the only reason why I'm really mentioning this match. I'm very curious to see how that. I'm assuming that's probably going to be the Mania match between Braun Breaker and Penta. Don't know. Highly doubt Ludwig makes it to the Mania card, which is unfortunate. But to be fair, I don't know what else you would really do with Ludwig Kaiser, so it makes sense for him to miss out on the Mania card. But this was actually a really good match. I enjoyed the match for what it was. It was an absolute great match, and I'm excited to see how they build up Ludwig versus Braun Breaker towards Mania. After this, though, we end up getting that actually happened later in the show. We end up getting Ivy Now versus Dakota Kai. During the match, you end up having American Made. They was out there, but then you end up getting the LWO. They come out, chase LWO, not chase LWO. They end up chasing American Made out. This caused a distraction towards Ivy Now, allowed Dakota Kai to pick up the victory. Don't understand why do we need this match. I don't even understand why they had a rematch, because this does nothing for either people. Ivy Now takes another loss, which ruins her credibility. And Dakota Kai, yeah, she wins, but she's not winning that title unless she's going to win it at Mania, which I don't see the reason why you would do that, because I just don't think Dakota Kai is built up enough yet to really have her win. But to be fair, the mid-card division on the women's on SmackDown isn't that great either way. So this was really just to progress the story of LWO and American Made, but I feel like you could have done that without this match. You could have just had them brawl, and then you could have just had a brawl. You could have just had Chad Gable, because Chad Gable was out there as well. You could have just had Chad Gable and them cut a promo, LWO come out, they brawl, and that could have been the end of the segment there. I don't understand why you had to. I don't understand the match. Really didn't need to have the match. The match just didn't make sense in my opinion. After this though, we end up getting Io Sky, Bianca. They end up having their contract signing. They show a little bit of respect to each other. They said their words, but then they end up signing the contract. Then you get Rhea Ripley. She comes out. She's talking to Bianca. She's mentioning, what happened last week. She's mentioning, Bianca being out in her championship match. And then they're going back and forth arguing. And the same thing happens again where Io tries to intervene. She ends up getting shoved. Then Io ends up attacking Bianca, if I'm not mistaken. And then Rhea Ripley attacks Io Sky. Then because Bianca ended up landing on the table. And then Rhea Ripley ends up doing a power slam on Bianca onto the table. Then she ends up taking the contract and signs her name on the contract. I like this. I like this. I was wondering how was they going to insert her into this match, because I'm like, they're going to do a triple threat. It was very obvious, but this is great. This is great. I love what they did here, and this match is very unpredictable. This is because I could see it going two ways. I'm sorry, I just don't see it. Well, I could kind of see Io Sky winning, because the story that they're telling with Io Sky is basically she's constantly being disrespected and she's the ultimate underdog. So I could kind of see them doing that story, but I could see them easily having Bianca win. I could kind of see them having Rhea Ripley win, because she is the heel in this situation. So having a heel Rhea Ripley as champion, I could kind of see it. But I think it's mainly Bianca or Io that will win this match. But I'm loving what they're doing here. This is what we've been needing in the women's division. This is what we've been needing. This is great. I love what they're doing here. This is what we've been needing in the women's division. More face-to-face interactions. Now, to be fair, the story is based off a title. Yes. But it is a bit more personal, and they're adding a bit more depth than just the title. You have Io Sky, the ultimate underdog, feeling disrespected. You have the Rhea Ripley being this woman who is obsessed, who can't take a loss. Like, they're adding more depth to the story, which I like, which is what we've been needing in the women's division for a while. Because every feud, for the most part, is just, I want a championship, I want the championship, and that's it. So I'm loving they're adding more depth to the story, and I am very excited for this match. After this, we end up getting Gunther, and there was a match with Jey Uso. I'm not going over that match, because who cares? They're gonna have a tag match next week as well. Why? Look, Triple H, I love your booking, but what are we doing here? Like, why? Why is Jey Uso feuding with A-Town Down Under? Please end it. Please end it. It's stupid. It makes no sense. I don't understand it. But Gunther attacks Jey Uso after the match, but Jey Uso actually ended up overcoming Gunther. And he ends up taking the title and ends up holding it up high, and then he ends up throwing it towards Gunther. This segment was fine. It was fine for what it was. They're slowly building up Gunther versus Jey. Now, a lot of people are complaining about the build towards Gunther versus Jey. Me personally, I'm not. I don't understand why people are complaining about it. This build, no offense, was always going to be on the back burner, even with Jey winning the Royal Rumble, because no offense, you're not beating John Cena's heel turn, and you're not beating Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk. That's just the truth. I'm sorry. You was always going to be put on the back burner. Every WrestleMania feud, someone has to sacrifice to take the back burner. This has happened many years. This happened last year with Bayley and Io, unfortunately. So I like the feud. I think the story that they're telling is decent. I don't think it's bad. I think people are overreacting to this story. I think it's a decent feud. I don't think it's amazing or great, but I think it's decent. People who are saying this is just bad or whatever, that's just ridiculous. Oh, after this, we end up getting American Made versus LWO. Now, I'm going to be honest. At first, I was a bit confused and a bit angry, but due to what they did towards the end, I'm going to let it play out. American Made lost this match, but then you end up getting the Luchador in the American Made match, which we all know as Chad Gable, comes out and attacks them. So they're still playing the story of who's in the mask and all that. Now, I will say this. If American Made lose this feud, I'm done. I'm done with this group. I'm done with this faction. Now, when this faction first formed, I wasn't like most idiots who just assumed that Chad Gable was going to go on this dominant run. No, I knew that he was going to take a few losses, but I eventually thought that eventually he would build himself up, and then eventually he may win Tad Gold and hold the title for like a few months. If they lose this feud against LWO, yeah, I'm done with American Made. Because I like the group, but I cannot take them seriously if they're going to keep being losers. I just can't. If they're going to keep being losers, I cannot take them seriously. So I'm hoping this leads to something, especially with the whole Chad Gable going on his Luchador quest. If you have him still lose to Luchadors after that, yeah, this story was pointless and I'm done with them. Then we end up getting Seth Rollins. Not gonna really go that in depth on this promo. Basically, he just addresses what happened at Elimination Chamber. Not Elimination Chamber. What am I talking about? He addresses the attack that Roman Reigns had last week, attacking him last week, and then he ends up basically saying that he's going to make an appearance on SmackDown due to CM Punk and Roman Reigns being there. So we're going to get that amazing promo segment. Probably is going to end in a brawl, but maybe not. But the promo, the mic work between those three, I can't wait to see how that plays out. Then we get the main event. Braun Breaker versus Finn Balor. Yeah, I did not care for this match. I know the match was probably good. I did not care. I did not watch this match. I watched the ending where Dominic Mysterio interfered, but he accidentally ended up costing Finn Balor because Finn Balor was on the top rope. Dominic Mysterio ends up taking Braun off the rope, but he also accidentally pulled the rope, which the spot where the wrestler ended up accidentally landing on the turnbuckle, whatever. He ends up costing Finn Balor the match. Braun Breaker, of course, retains, but then you end up getting Judgment Day attacking Braun Breaker. Then you get Penta taking out the Judgment Day, and then they have a stare down between Braun Breaker and Penta. So this is basically to progress the story of Penta versus Braun Breaker. I'm assuming that's going to be the Mania match, but who knows? Which I'm actually excited about. The only thing is, I just don't know the story you would tell with that match. That's the only thing I am concerned about. But to be fair, I think Braun Breaker is good enough to tell a good enough story. Now the main thing that they're trying to tell as well is the Judgment Day breaking up. In this Judgment Day thing now, like, I do not care about Finn Balor and Dominic. I just don't care. I don't care. Break them up as soon as possible. I don't care if it doesn't even make sense. I don't care if they do it next week. Just do it already. You've been teasing this for months. I am so over it. Please end it. Overall, this show is great, but please end the Judgment Day. I am so sick of them. But this was overall a really great show. I really enjoyed what they did here. But you guys let me know your opinions down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. But yeah, that's it.